Urubawado, Wado. This is Dr. Jiro speaking with you from Urubawado on Wado City TV News. I did promise you people that we will be more active to verbally educate people on the very many problems befalling the Yoruba nation via Wado City TV. Every day, we're going to engage people. We'll be telling you people. You can also forward your questions to us via inbox. We'll treat the question, I will answer them. And the person I want to talk about today is Chief Dore Numa. Chief Dore Numa is the origin of the Warri crisis. If there is any person to be held responsible, he is the person that should be held responsible. Unfortunately, he's dead. He cannot be held for his crime. I am going to take it from this book. I am not the person saying it to. It is Chief William Moore, a man who lived the same time with Dore Numa, a member of the Olu family. Chief William Moore is a great-grandson of Olu Akembua, who died in 1848. He wrote many things about Dore Numa. Dore Numa happened to be a political agent of the colonial government. What I mean is, of course, the British people came, they want to colonize us. They don't understand the terrain very well. They don't understand the language, the culture, and the custom of the people. And they needed an intermediary to act on behalf of them, between themselves and the people. And a willing tool they had in their hand was Chief Dore Numa. Now, in page 118, the Shekiri people by William Moore, look at what he said. He said he was instrumental in the success achieved by the British government in the Ebrohimi War of 1894. In other words, Dore Numa was among people who betrayed Nana for the British to capture him. Now, he did not only do that, he said the following are some of the occasions on which he accompanied the British political officer, the Benin City expedition. In fact, in another page here, I think 12 page, he said he recruited the Shekiri youth to fight against the Benin's. He recruited, why? Owe of Agbara was mobilizing robots to go and fight on the side of Obaverame. Dore Numa recruited the Shekiri youth to fight on the side of the British to capture Obaverame, to depose to Calabar. It's here. I'm not the person who wrote it, it's the person that wrote it. So you should know the kind of person that is. Do you know what he did? After that, I'm sure it was his advice. They now paraded Obaverame, Oba. He said, a great Oba, in chains among Urobo people and Ijaw people, because they all held him in high esteem, to put fear, so that colonial process will be very easy. Look at the language he used for him. He said, in the same war that he is supposed to be hanged by the people. Today is an Ishekiri hero, for you to know the kind of person. He said, he is said to be the worst usurper throughout the Ishekiri history of the Olu's right. In other words, he also took even Olu. In other words, he's a greedy man, he's on nobody's side. There are some people, they are so egocentric. They think about only themselves. He betrayed Nana, he betrayed Obaverame, and even the Olu right and properties. He also might correctly be said to be the worst profaner of the Olu honorable name and of the sanctity of his status. For by word and by mouth and implication declared himself to be the Olu of Ishekiri. He also ordered out from England and used on important occasion flag with the inscription Honorable Paramount Chief Dore Numa, the Olu of Ishekiri, Sobos, and the Ijaws of Warri. In other words, he declared himself as the king of the Yoruba people, the Ijaw people, and Shekiri people, simply because the British made him the paramount chief. Now let me tell you how powerful was this man. As at 1914, he was the federal minister. What I mean is this: Lord Lugard was the ruler of Nigeria. He amalgamated the northern and southern protectorate and appointed British colonial ministers. There were just few, I think about 6 of them, black men who were co-ministers. Dore Numa was one of them. So, he was a minister as at 1914. Then, he was the head of all the chiefs of the Warri province. In other words, he is the last man to see before you get to the white man. Then, he was also the head of the Warri Native Court of Appeal. You know that any land case is native court. After hearing it from their local court, Dore Numa will hear the case first before the white man decides. So you can see that this man had power personified. He was the federal minister, whining and dining with Lord Lugard. He was also paramount chief of the Warri province and also the chief judge. Get it clear. And apart from that, he received a medal from King George of England in 1907. And so even if you take a matter against him to England, he's a recipient of the King's medal. They will not hear it. But the man was a crook. Sorry to say. Of course, we have already called him a crook here anyway. So I'm only repeating what an second person said. So, when the British now wanted to colonize us, they sent Dore Numa to the people. We need land to establish colony. Go and get the land for them. I was thinking that the British wanted to lease the land and pay for it. The British actually knew the people that owned the land, because before they sent Dore Numa to go and lease land in 1907, between 1893 and 1894, the same British has signed treaties with all the elders in the surrounding community. I have the treaty of Ambassa people, the Ibudu people, the Alaja people, which is Ogbesobo treaty, the Otubo treaty, the Okere treaty, the Tori treaty, which is Ekpan, the Oruworo treaty, which is Obodo, Omuya Asaba treaty, Ogbesobo Alaja. You have a full treaty, Ugoroke treaty, Ekpan treaty, which is Tori. The British had already signed treaties with all these people. So, one would have expected that Dore Numa would have met the same people, the same elders that the British signed treaty with. But of course, I know the Yoruba man by 1907. I doubt if any Yoruba man was educated. Perhaps maybe Chief Omari of Okwe, who as in 1909 wrote a letter to Dore Numa. Have it here. So Dore Numa was sent to lease Warri land, which was Ogbejo and Ambassa, Sapele land, which is Sapele GRA, and some parts of Ogara land. He also went to lease Okere land, but the Okere people were educated. And so, the Okere people wrote to him quickly to bring the lease. They cancelled it and they leased it by themselves. But unfortunately, the Agbara people, which were the Agbasa people, were not educated. And of course, seeing Dore Numa with the white men and see what they did to Obawera men, every authority in this area was afraid of him. All the headman need to tell you was that the British people need your land. If you don't give to them, they will give you the Obawera treatment. Not to forget that they also deported the Obi of Agbaroto to present-day Shoba in Port Harcourt for resisting colonialism. They deported Chief Eyadu of Ukpe Kingdom of Ojidi village in 1897 to join Obawera in Calabar. So once you misbehave that time, they will deport you. They threatened Erumagori with deportation, the chief priest of Ubia people. In fact, they arrested him for days. Ubia women did dance naked, and then they ransomed him with 150 pounds. So, naturally, the land was plenty. So if the white man says he needs your land, out of fear of deportation or fear of prison, because the Yoruba man is always afraid of prison. Even till today, he won't be gabbing. He and what is the thing? That is beast. You know, when we're so afraid of prison. Your Yoruba man have always been afraid of prison. In ancient time, we had no prison system. What we do if somebody commits an offense, we either find the person, he buys a goat, or he promises we purify the land. But if it's an abomination like adultery or witchcraft or murder, we sell the person into slavery. We have no prison. And so our people became so afraid that they easily let the land go. And Dore Numa is not even a native of Warri City or Evidence. The Ishekiri community closest to Agbara and the Ogujo land were Besu. Dore Numa is not from Besu family. He did not own any land there. The next community was Okere. Dore Numa, Okere people have rejected him. Please don't leave our land. We can leave our land by ourselves. They were educated enough. He ran away. Then the only land close again was Mbuangwe. And somehow, he now convinced Ogbe Yowure of Mbuangwe to join him. And they leased the land as on behalf of the chiefs and people of Warri. You are leasing Ogbijo and Agbasa land. You didn't put Agbasa and Ogbijo name. You just put on behalf of chiefs and people of Warri. Where's Warri? And so, the Agbara people thought the land was given freely. They thought, of course, even if you go to, even Europe where I stayed, Baptist High School or Europe, very big, was given to the missionaries freely. The Europeans then were given land freely. Not to talk of where fear was involved. But something happened. 17 years later, Dore Numa, by eating money of all these leases, has become very, very rich. The Agbara and Yogujo people had even been evicted from their ancestral home. They didn't know that somebody else was feeling fat on the lease money from their land. And so, it was the Shekiri themselves that were not investigating the source of Dore Numa's wealth. He is not a merchant like Nana, and he's not from the Olu family. So how did he become very rich? His salary for government is not enough for his ostentatious lifestyle. And so they got to know that government will pay him for all the lands that he leaves. But there's one fundamental question. How can government be paying Dore Numa for the land that he leaves when Dore Numa was not the owner of the land and he didn't even come from the area? They said no. Dore Numa claimed that the land was Olu land, that the land belonged to Olu. As at that time, the Shekiris have no Olu. The last Olu of the Shekiri died in 1848. He now went into interregnum. There could be no successor. They fought among themselves. And by the time they finished killing most of the qualified princes, all the available princes were descendants of slaves, according to Warri Ikime. And were more. So there was nobody again to continue the throne. And so they settled themselves and they set up governors for themselves. And so they now had that Dore Numa was claiming that the land was, because they knew that Dore Numa came from Batare. So he didn't have land anywhere in this area. So how was he not collecting the money? And so I said, if Dore Numa is claiming that the land is Olu land, then it is we, the children of the Olu, that should be taking the money, not him. But you see how the Shekiri people are somehow. One would have expected that they would have said, no, we know that this land belonged to the Agbara and Ogujo people. They would have gone to be the Agbara and the Ogujo people. Dore Numa is eating your money. Let's team up together and let's get the money from you. But no, what did they do? They now sued Dore Numa to court. That the land you claim you are eating the money is Olu land. You are not a member of the Olu family. You didn't descend from the Olu. We are the descendant of the Olu. Let the money be paid to us. And so they went to court. To tell you how smart Dore Numa was. As a 1914, that's why somebody, when I first wrote the article, before I looked, one Ogun update picked the news and said the first 419 in Nigeria. When I read it, I agreed. Dore Numa went to court to argue that the money belonged to the office of the Olu and not to the person of the Olu. And that he was occupying the office of the Olu. So, by that fact, the money, he should eat the money and not him. And they went to the English court. The first court ruled in his favor that indeed, Dore Numa is occupying the office of the Olu, that the money belonged to the office of the Olu, but not to the person of the Olu. They went to the appeal court. The appeal court upheld the decision of the lower court. They went to the Supreme Court. The appeal court also upheld the decision of the law. And so, the court ruled that the money belonged to whosoever is occupying the office of the Olu. Then, the Ishekiri descendants, led by Donedo and the William Moore, now said, wait, the judge, we actually lost the case. They said the money belonged to the office of the Olu and not the person of the Olu. And the Dore Numa is occupying the office of the Olu. But it is our duty, it is our responsibility, it is our right to select an Olu. So all we don't need to do is choose one of our among ourselves. And we start to select an Olu. We have to the government. We already have an Olu. Then Dore Numa will not stop taking the money. The money, we are in the case, we have also won. That is how court judgment is. If you interpret it in such a way, if you look from another angle, you can circumvent the judgment. And so what they did was a convention. Immediately they wrote to Lieutenant Colonel MC Morehouse. He was the Lieutenant Governor of Southern Nigeria, headquarters in Enugu. Lord Luga was a big man in Lokoja. He was in Enugu, Southern region. And they said, sir, the letter is here. The judgment said that the money belonged to the office of the Olu. And whichever person that is occupying, we, the descendants of the Olu, have decided to resuscitate and set up the Olu office. So Dore Numa should henceforth stop eating the money because we need the money to build a befitting palace for the Olu in Odeshekiri. So, the scramble for Agbasa land, get it, was one of the reasons the Olu title was resuscitated in 1936. That is why the Ishekiri Olu family are to be grateful to Ogbiso and Agbasa people. Because it was hard to share of the leases of the money Dore Numa was collecting. That was why they quickly went. It's here. I'm not the person saying it too. So don't do that. So the Lieutenant Governor, Lieutenant MC Morehouse, now replied. He said, okay, your argument is sound, but the Olu cannot take office until Dore Numa dies. You wait. But henceforth, Dore Numa should collect only 1/6 of the money. And he should keep the remaining 5/6 in a special account called the Olu Trust Fund. From there, you cannot use it to build palace. And so, instead of Dore Numa to write only the Agbara and Ogujo land, he went to write Agbara land, Ogujo land, Ogidigbe land, and even Saple land as part of Olu land, so that all the money would enter the place. That was how he stole Sapele. until the married man had to go to court. I'll talk about that because somebody just told me the Duke of Sapele, Chief William Ayomano, a descendant of Chief Ayomano, made a pronouncement today on Radio TV. You can go and watch it. The status of Sapele. I will give a supporting video tomorrow and give you a detailed history of how the Isekiris came to Sapele, of how they fell apart, and how they were restored back. So what am I trying to tell you? He did that, and then he died in 1932. The Shekiri crowned their Olu in 1936. And they started eating the work. But during the case, the Olu family were very good in information. That's what the Shekiris have to do today, and that's what we want to have to learn. The power of the press. The Shekiri, they are killing you. And they will be beginning to shout on newspaper. They are oppressing us. They are doing this. They will be bringing facts. Cases that are not relevant. They will be twisting stories. Why most Robos are just naive? They don't know how to use information and press. Go to Google. See what they have done to Google Map. Go to Wikipedia. Warri Kingdom, as if Warri Kingdom is with the Shekiri. It's not here. But they have turned this your Warri to the Shekiri. And that's why I said, change your city to Wado City. Let the world know the truth. Good. And so, they crowned their king, Olu of Ishekiri, not Olu of Warri, 1936. I will give you this story tomorrow. Why he was crowned as Olu of Ishekiri in 1936. Some of the stories people read are not actually accurate. There was the reason why he was crowned. I will give you that story on a subsequent date. Now, during that period of the case between Chief Dore Numa and the Olu family, they were making a lot of press statements to sway public opinion, as if Dore Numa, a colonial agent, was trying to use his office to oppress the children of the Olu. This now attracted people like Herbert Macaulay, who was a champion of independence movement with the Nigerian National Party, which he formed in 1922. And so, then Herbert Macaulay came all the way from Lagos to give solidarity to the Olu family, the Africans, in which they felt Dore Numa with the colonialists were oppressing. So Herbert Macaulay came with other foreign natives. By the way, when we say foreign natives, they were not Nigerian, they were not aboriginal Nigerians. They were people from Sierra Leone who were dumped. And so they are looking people like the Mobolagi Bankantoni, all those names you used to hear. Most of them were free slaves. They descended from free slaves. They dumped them either in Liberia or Sierra Leone. They now came to naturalize people like the Mr. William and so. So when Herbert Macaulay led the group of activists to support the Olu family against Dore Numa, Herbert Macaulay was a surveyor. He said, let me go and survey the land so that I will know what is happening. So we use it as a form of activity to embarrass the government because Dore is not from this area. And when Herbert Macaulay went to survey the land, he said, but wait, it is not the Olu family that even owns this land. By my survey plan, and he went to Mr. Barabi. This land that we came to fight because of you now is your land, or is that your land that government leaves? The Abara Edarasa, you mean government is paying money because of that land? They say government has been paying money for the past 70 years. That is the land Dore Numa and Olu descendants are fighting over in court. What? Abara people now have to go to court to try to explain to the judge that the two people that came to court, Dore Numa and Olu family, are not the owner of the land. It is us and the Ogbonge people that owns the land. We didn't even know that money was being paid. Since money is being paid, pay the money to us. But of course, in law, there are rules of law. The judge said they were senile, they were stupid to have allowed their land for 17 years. It has been built. Somebody has been collecting money. Two people have moved on to court, one have won. They are not coming to me to work to reverse my judgment. I can't hear this case. And he disputes the matter. Now, what do you call that? The judge is saying that I cannot hear you because you wasted too much time in coming to court. And 2 other people have already come, have decided the matter. The government have even said that 5/6 of the money be kept for in Olu account. So it's too late. In law, that's what we call technicalities. A judge is refused to hear you because you disobey the rules of court. In other words, they lost the case. So that is why we are telling you that Agbara people lost the case, not because it was not their land, but because of technicalities. Government have already given, a court have already given decision on the matter. 2 people went to judge a land, your land, unknown to you, and one of them have won. And by the rules of court, they cannot revisit the matter again. Even in Delta State here, Delta State law, it's called statute of limitation. Say if somebody enters your ancestral land and deforest it and build it for 10 years before you come to court, he said the court cannot help you. Because why did you wait for 10 years for somebody to build a house? Stay before coming to court. And so, a land, the historical owner of a land could be different from the legal owner. Get me clear as you'll be understanding what's happening. For example, in the United States of America, the historical owners of the land are the Red Indians. But the legal owners today is the American government. Then George Bush, then the rest, and the rest. That is how land is. The historical owner of any land is different from the legal owners. We all know it too. In Ilorin, Kwara State, the historical owner are the Amfunja Yoruba people, but the legal owner is Kenya. It's like that. In South Africa, the historical owner of the land is the black of South Africa. But today the white people have vast lands. So those are some of the things you are going to understand. And that for government to resolve this issue, government now have to look at the historical owners using commission of inquiry by disregarding what the court said, because the court did not hear Agbasa people. And the government said, henceforth, we are going to make a law again that the historical owners of the land will have their land and their king. And the legal owners of the land will also have their own part. And that was why in 1998, the federal ministry government balkanized Warri City into 4. Let the Shekiri and their parts be under the Olu. Let Urubu, the Agbara Urubu, be under the OVA of Agbara, and the Okere Urubu, Oroso of Okere Urubu, and then Ijo and Makoso of Obijo. So, the Shekiri cannot say that the owner Agbara, the Shekiri ancestor found any land there? No. Is any Ishekiri ancestor buried in those lands? No. Do they have any ancient market there? No. So how come is your land? When we always ask the Shekiri, who founded Agbara land? They don't know. They say it's Umale. Umale Juju called Umale Ekberuma. That he dematerialized 500 years ago. So somebody that dematerialized 500 years ago, how will he? Is that at the right time? Somebody that dematerialized, how can he have land? Who are the descendants of the Shekiris that founded Agbara land? Go to Agbara land. Descendant of Bazuno, Sam Warri, Obioma, who is the son of an Asian, all of them were there. The people were here. The Erejua, the Ginua, the Akembua, the Mabiaku, if I'm Mabiaku, I know from Olubu. They don't even have descendants right there. How do you have, in Sapele today, go there. Who and who George Sapele in 1942? It was Ayomano and Kimua. Descendants of Ayomano, they are still right there in Sapele. Where are the descendants of Dore Numa Isabelle? It's not there. So I will stop here for today. Thank you for listening. God bless you.
Me no never buy. You for me,